Hello there, guys. How's it going? I'm hoping everybody can hear me. There we go. Hello, Nonstick 872. You're the first. All right, so right now I'm just working on the thumbnail. Should be done here in just a second. Just thought I'd start this about 15 minutes before the unboxing. The box is right there in the background. So yeah, we can chat for 15 minutes or so while I finish this. Save. Actually, I wonder if I can even upload this thumbnail for the video while the live stream is live. I don't think I can do that. We'll see though. Back to here. Edit. Yeah, I don't see a place to put the thumbnail. I don't know what that is. Interesting. All right, well, I guess we can just back up here. I do know that I can do this. Pop out chat. And control. Here we go. So now you guys' chat is very large on the screen here. And I've set up my my desk here opposite from the table. I worked real hard last night for you guys so that I could get a more professional broadcast happening this time. Last time I was just on my phone, you know. Hi Math, or hi Francis. Hi Brian. Giannis, hello. 3D Medic. Audio good, video good. Good, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. I think, well, today, unfortunately, I've got this. This is called a condenser mic, so it's really designed to talk right into it. But I've got the I've got the gain turned up, so I've got it really sensitive. But unfortunately, it was giving me like a hum last night. So through my OBS firmware, I was able to modify it slightly, so I can kind of remove the hiss. But you'll hear when it's silent, no hiss. But just as I start to talk, there's kind of this like moment. So the algorithm or whatever it is in the software isn't perfect. So I'm working on it, you guys. I'll get a more professional setup as I keep doing these. How fast can the Ming D2 TPU? I'll tell you what, the same speed as all the other printers, because with TPU, you really want to print slowly. 30 millimeters per second is about as fast as you want to go, and that's contingent on the filament, not on the printer itself. No audio? Audio good, video good? The audio is okay. Yes, in fact, I have, Brian. This right here is a mounting adapter that I made for my Zesty Nimble to mount. You can see this is the Zesty Nimble end. I had it on my Tevo Little Monster when I was doing some experiments. I don't broadcast everything that I make, most of the stuff, but not. It echoes a bit. Yeah. Well, I'll do my best, you guys. This is the equipment that I have. So here, let's just set up the shot. What we're going to be seeing when the actual live broadcast is happening. All right. Well, I'll do my best to put this there. The Zesty is what we need for deltas. You know, Francis, yeah. Whoa, that should have clipped just now. So I kind of agree with you. We need it for deltas. We also need it for what? For Core XY. For any machine that's capable of printing rapidly, it is definitely a theoretically nice thing to have. The problem is the stiffness of the driven cable. So you want the cable to be shorter because then it's going to be stiffer. And I think that those cables, I believe they're speedometer cables, but I think those cables on both products, they're basically the same. And yeah, the speedometer cables are stiff enough for 0.4 millimeter nozzle printed at normal print speeds, 40 to 90 millimeters per second. but you start to get faster than that. And I haven't done a whole lot of experimenting, so I don't know where the line is. You start to get faster than that, and uh, you basically start to get the same problems that you have with a Bowden tube. The cable itself twists up, it winds up, which acts like a giant spring. And so maybe, what is it, pressure advance or linear advance if you're running Marlin, maybe that could fix it. So there's a whole lot of experimenting that I need to do, and I've got a lot of other things to do. So yeah, I've had that Zesty Nimble in my possession. I've played with it for a while, but I haven't made a video about it for like a year and a half maybe. It's been quite a while. It's an awesome product in theory, and I've just, you know, it needs to be fine-tuned, and probably the guys at Zesty have fine-tuned it, but I like to do my own work. I like to kind of go back to first principles, which it's very effortful for me, but that way I truly understand what's going on and I can speak about it. So that's why I haven't just taken the ready-made solution from those guys and made a video about it yet, because I haven't been able to take ownership myself. Don't worry about the audio. It sounds okay to you, I guess? Well, that's good. Hey, tell me, you guys, I'll speak loudly when I'm back here behind the, let's see my audio monitor. Yeah, I know it gets a little quiet, so I'll try to yell from back here when I'm standing back here, but can you guys hear me okay back here? Yep, sounds good. Okay. Hey, give me just a second, you guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to go say my kid's going down for a nap, so I'm going to go give him a good night hug, and I'll be right back. Got my water so I can talk for many, many hours. I don't know. I'm hoping this doesn't go on too long. Well, this is odd. Hi, all that joined a little later. That was quick. Yeah, just say goodnight. What do I need here? I need my phone. There it is. All right. Loud and clear. Good stuff. Anycubics version of the Tevo Little Monster. It's called the Predator. Yeah, I definitely did. I reached out. I can't remember who I reached out to. They basically stopped making it. So they did a production run of the Predator, and they sold out the bulk of their units, and whoever has inventory left is kind of like jacking the price up. It looks like an awesome printer, and you're absolutely right that that's Anycubics version, but things are weird in China. You know, the Chinese Communist Party is basically like a giant company. You got to think of it like that. It's an autocratic institution, and so they allow their employees, which would be like the other companies in China, would be like employees of the CCP, and they allow their employees some freedom, but it's kind of all incestuous in a way. So there's a designer, I've been told by I think Chinese viewers, there's a designer there in China named Shay Shen, Chaychen, and he's designed all kinds of fantastic printers, from the like the Tevo Tarantula, the Tevo Tornado, the Tevo Little Monster, but he's also done my I think he did my Two Trees Sapphire. I don't know though. I'm pretty sure he did that one too. Yeah, and so clearly the Predator is the next version of the Tevo Little Monster. Like, it would have been called the Tevo Little Monster 2 if they had kept the Tevo name on it. But whoever it was, Anycubic picked it up instead of Tevo, and so it got named the Predator. But it's clearly Sheishen's next iteration. So yeah, the Predator is definitely going to be better. It's going to be the improved version of the little monster. Yeah, so there's that. What did I want to say? There was something I wanted to say. I don't remember. Small stream today. I believe 6 of us were watching. Then, oh yeah, nonstick. Yeah, that was. What was that, like 3 in the morning my time? I was up late trying to figure out all the issues here, and I forgot to make the stream private. So that was that. This is the Mingda D4, so the big brother of the Mingda D2. I might bring the Mingda D2 out to play if it's relevant. It's sitting right there. Although it's kind of buried, it would take me a second to unbury it. How are we doing for time? 4 minutes till we go live. All the time. Yeah, I dressed up for you guys. I thought it's a live show. Why not make an appearance? Yeah, I don't know what time to do these live streams. It was crazy last night, like at 3 a.m. when I accidentally did that live stream. Like there were like 10 people there like instantly. So maybe my international audience is larger than. No, that's not true. According to my viewership statistics, my audience is mostly Americans. So I don't know. Yeah, Stephen, you were there. I saw it. So, I'm gonna. In the last 3 minutes here, I'm going to dig out the Mingda D2 just in case it's irrelevant. So yeah, we got 3 minutes till the unboxing starts. So hold on just a second. All right, that's ready to go. Yeah, nonstick, you did. You beat him. You beat him this time. Yeah, Stephen was first last night. Okay, 9 p.m. in France. Perfect time. Yeah, well, 2 hours, 2.5 hours to unbox this and hopefully get it printing. And hopefully just in time for your bedtime. So thanks for watching, Mr. Stupid Trooper. All right. Well, I don't know how many people are watching here. The inline filament. Well, what's interesting is one of my executive producers sent me this Sunloop. By the way, I would love it. I'm thinking of starting like little mini Kickstarters or something so that I can just buy the printers that I want to buy and just be a jerk about them if I want to be a jerk. I do. Although, being a jerk, like that time in the video where I was like, this is stupid about the 4 rollers on that printer. That was a little too strongly worded. And so, maybe I don't want to be too much of a jerk in these reviews, but I definitely, for the printers that I get given to me, you have to kind of read between the lines. I say everything that needs to be said. There's nothing that I avoid saying, but I'm maybe just a little more gentle with my wording when these companies send me these things. I mean, it's gracious, right? They sent me a printer, so I'm not trying to be like emotionally negative about something they sent me. And maybe, I have a pretty good radar these days for junk before I even buy it. So I turned down a lot of printers. Also, I don't really have the time, so I don't review a lot of printers. I kind of have to be impressed by it on paper before I'll say yes to it. But it'd be fun to just eviscerate some crappy printers, but I don't want to buy them. So don't know. Maybe I'll start doing some like mini Kickstarters to buy things. But yeah, regarding the inline filament dryer, I've got one of these for drying nylon. So one of my projects coming up is going to be a printing carbon fiber impregnated nylon, and how to make that happen. And you absolutely need to keep nylon and like PETG, or not PET, polycarbonate, PC. You need to keep these extremely dry before you print with them and while you're printing with them. So yeah, this is coming. All right, guys, I think it's time to kick this off for real, or basically a hot in between your PTFE. Yep. Yep, Michael Hathaway, he should be here. He's the moderator, or one of them, and yeah. An oven works to keep your filament dry, but it gets wet as soon as you pull it out of the oven. So you want to keep it dry as you're printing it. All right, here we go. Welcome to the live unboxing of the Mingda D2 or D4. So this is the bigger brother of the Mingda D2, which I've already started to review, although I reviewed that printer. I need to do the upgrade video for that. The Mingda D4 is a better printer, not just because it's larger, but because it's got some other functionality added to it. It looks like it has a filament sensor, if I remember correctly. Not a filament, a bed leveling sensor, if I remember correctly. So yeah, this looks like, it actually looks really promising. So let's see if it delivers what it's promising. Starting with cutting the tape. Stop me now. And I've had Queen going through my head for like the last couple of days. I saw this video about Shaun of the Dead, that scene where they where they're in the pub and the Don't Stop Me Now is playing. Okay. And it's upside down. I should have cut the box open from the bottom. Well, right off the bat, I see something I don't like. You guys see that? Those are metal corner brackets. And there's no rubber. So we have rubber feet here at the front, which keep it from sliding, but this metal can, scuff up or scratch your desk maybe. There's not really any sharp points on it, so it'll be okay, but I don't really like it. I wish it had like rubber feet on it. I guess we can print some TPU. Oh, geez. That's not good. Oh, geez. Yep, we got problems. That sucks. So these feet came off, or the wheels came off in shipping. And on this one right here, that has caused the screw to puncture through the magnetic surface here. So it's during shipping, it basically got damaged during shipping. That sucks. Somebody didn't tighten these wheels down far enough. So I'm going to take the magnetic, I got a little magnetic portion here stuck to the screw head, and I don't want that to mess things up. Hopefully, yeah, that's all going to recess down in there, so I don't think it's going to affect the bed. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I think so. Oh, that got damaged too. Strange. I wonder. Yep, it got bent. So, okay, let's you know what, guys? I'm gonna show you. Let's get this unboxed first. Yeah, I agree. Things should not fall off during shipping. I think whoever put it together at the factory just was in a rush, and they didn't thread it down all the way until it hit the spring. You know, the spring sort of keeps it in tension, and so it's just loosely sitting on there. And then, you know, during shipping, the vibrations caused the wheel to just sort of unthread itself. And once the wheel fell off, it was game over. Don't stop me now. Hey, look! 3 pulley wheels instead of 4. At least they had the foresight to not put this on the bed. So, because this was not on top of there in shipping, when this damage occurred, it did not damage my actual print surface. Look at how large that is, you guys. That's really cool. I'll put that there now. Well, this is going to be an easy assembly, at least. There's really, well, it's a knockoff. But we got a 3D touch here. So, you guys know I don't like knockoffs. I'm not very happy about that. Is what it is. You know, it just kills me. It's so obvious and so easy to make like another probe that touches the bed. Like there's other ways to do it. And why? Why just copy? Why can't China like go, okay, that's the idea. We want a probe to touch the bed. I'll make it happen with a different shape to the sensor, maybe a different underlying technology. But no, they just copy. They just do a carbon copy. It's stupid. Can you guys hear me? I probably need to speak up, huh? You know what? Maybe I can... Well, then you guys can't see. No, I'm not going to do that. Let's set this down. I'll give you guys a close-up. You guys see? See the screw protruding? This one's a little bit damaged. It's not terrible, but it's not good. And that one's also starting to protrude through. This one also is probably the second worst. But the biggest problem here is somebody really squished this box. And we can see that the sub bed is bent. I don't know how much you guys can see that right there, but the sub bed needs to get straightened out. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is straighten out that sub bed. There is bed leveling. It does have that, which is awesome. We're going to take this hot end apart and get a closer look at it. Hey, it's got my favorite hot end design, the one that they used based on my work. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy about it. You know, funny story about that. I like this hot end design. I think it has real promise. It's just the fans, the fan shroud, that's terrible. And everybody agrees. You know, all the other reviewers that are reviewing Mingda printers all agree that the fan ducts are bad. But that's okay, because that's my wheelhouse. That's what I designed. I've already designed fan ducts for the Mingda D2 that will work on this. So yeah, so that's cool. But they must have gotten so much flack and criticism for their bad fan ducts, which are, like I said, easy to fix. But they got so much criticism that they've now they're selling a new version with, it looks like the knockoff Bondtech and a knockoff E3D V6 hot end. So they're just going back to the like tried and true known solution just to sell printers. It's just so soulless, you know? So it's like they put a bunch of copycat products, the 3D Touch, so I can't support that printer the other one that they want me to review because it's just nothing but knockoff products on it, which is not good. It's not good at all. I'll be right back, you guys. I got to go in the other room and get my big beefy pliers to try to straighten this out. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to use these. These are my small version. For those of you who don't know, these are called Knipex or Knipex. They come from Germany. These are awesome. They look like pliers, but they're not. They're expensive, but they are worth it. Okay, I'm going to have to turn my back to you guys while I get this done. Well, I think it might have been an optical illusion. It doesn't look bent now that I've got it off apart. Yep, false alarm. Okay. What do you guys have to say? Yeah, false alarm. Have you ever heard of the Voron 2? Absolutely. You know, it's funny. Gruis Media. I like Voron. I like what they do. They put a lot of thought into their designs, and they iterate. You know, that's what this channel is all about: iterating, design, prototype, test, repeat. So Voron's doing some great work, and I think the number one problem. The number one criticism I could throw at Voron is they're printing all the support brackets. So they're using extrusions, aluminum extrusions, and then all the attachment places are 3D printed. And they've, like I said, they've designed, prototyped, and tested. They've iterated until they're great printers, fantastic. But because they're made out of plastic, you can never put them in a heated enclosure. And I mean, I can't emphasize enough how important heated enclosures are going to be. We all print with PLA because it's easy to print with, but polycarbonate is as easy to print with as PLA if you have an enclosure, if you're printing at like 75 degrees Celsius inside that enclosure. So the future of 3D printing absolutely requires heated chambers, and you can't put a printer made out of plastic into a heated chamber. It's going to get all soft and wobbly and warp and everything. So they've done just tremendous work. I mean, and as far as like a DIY printer, if you want to have the pride in a printer that you build yourself, then yeah, build a Voron. They're doing great work. It's just fundamentally they're trying to make it so that you can make it at home with a 3D printer. You can make 3D printers with a 3D printer. But no, you want to make it out of metal. You want the frame to be metal. Or I don't know, maybe carbon fiber, because it doesn't metal expands a lot in the heat. So if you have like a carbon fiber frame for your 3D printer, it doesn't expand nearly as much. So it would be more heat stable for operating inside of the chamber. But these are all big issues. They're kind of the big picture. So for now, for today, I've got like nothing realistic bad to say about Voron. They're doing great work. So yeah. You can use plastic for heat chambers, but you have to use high tech. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Absolutely. Yeah. You guys know what you're talking about. All right, I'll get back to the review. Don't stop me now. Having a good time. Of course. How many guys? Hey guys, I can't see how many people are watching. Does somebody want to give me that number? I can just see your comments. I think this stream's going to be a lot smaller because it's a lot less sort of exciting than the print mill, the hyper mill, the cyber mill. $105. Hey, that's not bad. What do you guys want me to talk about? Just need to be the right price. Yeah, true. What's this going for, you guys? Look it up on Amazon. Mingda. Here you go. Mingda D4. Yeah, and as you guys get it, everything that I'm doing right now, I'm going to imagine, well, if you get it right now today, maybe you'll receive the same printer I received. But in the future, these issues shouldn't be there. You should just receive this bottom assembly all put together correctly, and everything that you've just seen me do, you wouldn't even have to deal with. D4 or D4 Pro? I don't know. It's a good question. You know, I didn't see a manual in that box either. I should go look in the box for the manual. Give me a few minutes. I'll go figure it out. Might be the Pro, because the Pro probably has the leveling sensor for the bed, but the D4 normal doesn't, would be my guess. I'm guessing there. What's my favorite tool? Yeah, honestly, you guys, it might be that that Knipex plier set. Those things are amazing. They're amazing. You'll never strip a bolt head with them, so they're basically a wrench and pliers together. You know, you always got taught not to use pliers to tighten down bolts. Well, you can absolutely use these, you know, the Knipex. You can absolutely use these. See, they've got this like parallel motion to the jaws. So the jaws move together. So it's kind of like a crescent wrench, like an adjustable spanner, or adjustable crescent wrench, but it's got this plier thing to give you all the leverage. So you're clamped down on that bolt head. You're not going to strip it. And the full size, the larger versions have these real thin jaws here, but they've got the thicker jaws that extend farther. So you can bend sheet metal really cleanly with these as well. So they're like the best sheet metal bending tool that I've found. They're pliers and they're an adjustable wrench. So they're like 3 tools in one, and they do a fantastic job at all 3 of them. So normally when you have a multi-tool, it kind of does an okay job at all of them, but yeah, no, this is a great tool. I was thinking of doing an everyday carry video for 3D printers. Where did that spring go? Oh, now I got a problem now. Found it. Don't stop me now, 'cause I'm having such a good time. Having a ball. Quick grip wire stripper. I don't know what that tool is. Somebody give me a link. I don't know if you can put links. Michael, you can put links, right? Give me a link to the Irwin Quick Grip Stripper tool. Let me see what it looks like. Of course. Oh, nice. Are they cheap springs or high tension? They're the no, I like them. They're good. They're good springs. They're a little bit thinner wire than the stuff that I used elsewhere. For like the you know that crappy dual. Oh, Michael, the somebody mentioned the Irwin tool up there, the Irwin wire stripper tool. Wanted to take a look at that. Anyway, back to the springs. The wire on the spring is a little bit thinner than that. No, so they're not like super high strength, but they're good springs. They're high quality springs. I don't know how to describe it. Sorry. that is how you should receive the printer in the box. So we'll put this bed on it now. Get the dust off that. Now, I do have to say one thing, and that is I can't stand this wannabe build tack anymore. I've ruined every single one of these that I've ever had. And, you know, in the beginning, build tack was like the best thing going, and then PEI came out. And so I had a love for build tack because it was better than just glue stick on a sheet of glass. But there's a difference between the genuine build tack and this stuff that we get from China, but it's like a small difference. And in the end, build tack's really not the best solution. So what I want is a piece of flex steel. And you know what? Actually, this is 400 millimeters, the bed on this. I have a 300 millimeter sheet of flex steel, but that's not big enough. So I'll have to get a 400 millimeter flex steel sheet, and then it'll be awesome. I'll have a big flexible bed on this printer. This is going to be one of my printers that I keep. I'm sure of that. Although, like I've been saying, I pretty much don't say yes to any printers except the ones that I want to keep anymore. So, you need Garolite. I know, Michael. I know. Yeah. Well, I could put Garolite, could tape, use the 3M tape to adhere the Garolite to the flex steel, and I could go with a thinner sheet of Garolite, and then I would get nylon to stick to it. So, here's the plug. This also got damaged in shipping. It's slightly bent. All right, time for the gantry. Look at this. I've never seen that before. Pretty cool. We have a, 2040 extrusion here at the front, and a 2020 stiffening extrusion at the back. We've got that same, bring this up to you guys. There we go. So you can see that same floating bearing. Actually, that looks a little different than it did on the Mingda D2. That's simpler, but I like it. So it floats enough, but it's under tension. It's definitely wanting to, yeah. See, these rods, they never come straight. These Acme threaded lead screws never come straight from China. What I think is the manufacturers in China are taking this stainless rod off of a giant spool. So it's not rod, it's actually thick wire. And it's hard to get wire straight after it's been bent on a spool. So that's my suspicion. And that's why you never ever see straight lead screws from China because of the way they manufacture them. Thanks for watching, Tom. Maybe catch this when it's no longer live. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, I try to just leave it. There's no reason that your top of your lead screws can't flop around. There's no harm in that. So I try not to over constrain things. I don't know. I mean, it's not needed. I don't know why. It's just like a perception thing that you would need to. People just don't like that it's kind of flapping around out there, but it's actually the better way. You don't want to over constrain things in engineering. Oh, okay. Let's take a look at those Irwin tools here. Close up of my face. What do you think, guys? some view of the studio, the parts that you're not supposed to see. Oh yeah, I have a knockoff set of those. I don't know who invented the wire strippers. Those things are great. They're fantastic. I'll show you guys something. One of the coolest tools. You see it? You got your flush cutter up here at the top, and then you've got these jaws on this side, and that is a wire stripper. So as I tighten it down, the inner jaws there are grabbing the wire, and as I continue to tighten it down, it strips the wire off the top. So right here, you go clip on your wires, and then you go to the back and you strip them. It's so cool. So you can find these. I don't know what they're called. These are called 26 AWG. Oh, geez, what does that say? To 15. Oh, it's just talking about the wire gauge. 26 to 15 AWG. I don't know. I don't remember where I got these. They got no name on them, so they're probably a knockoff of some patented tool, but these are awesome. Hi, Blackhawk. I'm right across the river over here in Vancouver, Washington. Well, I don't know if I can. Let's see if I can ban a. Can I ban this person? Put user in timeout. I mean, you just gave me a thumbs up, so let's just remove hide user on channel. See ya. So yeah, don't be rude, or you'll get banned from my channel. Okay. Yeah, auto drop. I know who you are. Yeah, well, he just left a little of the emoji of a middle finger, so that should get you banned. War Games. I don't know where War Games was filmed. Maybe it was filmed here. Back in the '80s, there was a lot of cinema being filmed here in like the Portland area. Like I know over on the coast, there's a really pretty coastal town called Astoria, and they filmed Kindergarten Cop and Benji. Was that the dog movie? Yeah, I think both those were filmed in Astoria. So it wouldn't surprise me at all that War Games was filmed here, but it might have been Vancouver, BC, the more famous Vancouver. Same guy, same famous, fur trapper or whatever he was that the cities got named after. Both cities got named after the same guy. My favorite, though, as long as we're talking about a little like local history, there's McLaughlin. This guy named McLaughlin. He was a British, I don't know, army maybe. I don't know. He was important. He was an important British guy, and he ran Fort Vancouver, which was actually Fort Vancouver is probably the army, the U.S. Army. Anyway, yeah, it was a fort. It was a trading outpost here, right here where Vancouver, Washington sits, and British didn't want him to be helping Americans, but these Americans were all coming out on the Oregon Trail and like dying of starvation when they got here. So he was a cool guy, and he decided to trade with these guys and give them the supplies that they needed, which angered Britain, because Britain didn't want him helping the expansion of America here to the West Coast, and the Americans didn't really trust him, even though he was helping them because he was British. And so he really got like a bad rap at the time, but now we love him. Like he was just so important to the history of Oregon. So there's this mountain down in Southern Oregon named after him, really pretty mountain, Mount McLaughlin. If you ever drive like to California down I-5, there's this moment where you're coming down this hill right before you get into Medford, Oregon, and you're looking straight at Mount McLaughlin, and it's one of these like, you know, Mount Fuji looking pyramid with snow covered on the top. It's gorgeous. So he's got a mountain named after him now. Thanks to him, we have Oregon. All right, we have screws. Look at that. That's all the screws you got. I love it when a kit isn't really a kit. It's more just to assemble that game transfer. Okay, what do I need here? The usual one of these, flexible. I love these things, but you have to grind your own edge into them. Use a Dremel tool or, I don't know, sandpaper if you don't have a Dremel tool or something, or a grinder. But you want to put a nice knife edge on there. Not so sharp that you can shave the hair off your hand or your arm or whatever, but sharp enough that you can get like pretty sharp. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. And yet, let's talk about filament. Oh, I'm getting so much criticism. I can't believe a YouTuber who reviews printers for a living doesn't have any PLA. Well, it's true. I mostly use PLA for these videos. What I care about is high performance filament. So yeah. So I have lots of like nylons and polycarbonates and TPUs. I have all kinds of exotic filament, but I don't have a lot of PLA because it's not very functional. It bends, it glacially bends. It's called plastic creep. It's got heat deformation. I made these hooks one time for my wife to hold the pots, like the pot holders above the oven, and the exhaust gases coming out of the back of the oven went up the wall, and just those exhaust gases were hot enough to cause my PLA hooks to just slump, and then all the pot holders fell back behind the stove. And I was like, PLA is no good for functional prints, usually. I mean, you can get away with it sometimes, but usually it's not. So yeah, I don't have much PLA. So we're going to do our first print using this crappy little spool. Not even a spool, this little ring of stuff that they sent to us. Did I miss something? Honestly, I couldn't follow the story. Which story? Non-stick? Appreciate your opinion on the SaneSmart Corex Y printer and the Sapphire Plus. Okay, I don't know the SaneSmart one. You know who makes a really good Corex Y printer from the looks of it, from something that I haven't actually used myself, but go check out 3D Print General, the 3D Print General. He recently reviewed amazing, I think it might be the best like larger format Corex Y from China out there. But I have the the Two Trees Sapphire Original, the Sapphire S, not the Pro. And I love the original. It's the better one it's the better one. The reason that the here, you guys can see it. Yeah, you can see it. See down here? This is the stepper motors. They're underneath the floor. And then these rods go all the way through to the top, and that's where the pulleys are that are driving your Corex Y belts. So that means that you can easily enclose it. You can put some insulation around there, and it's going to close quite well. So that's the advantage. Why did they get rid of that? Like, it kills me. Like, the best thing about their printer, and they got rid of it. So the Pro version of that got rid of the best feature. So yeah, that's why I never asked to review the Pro, because the original, and I think you can maybe still track down. No, you know what? You can't even track that down anymore. Somebody else, another Patreon supporter, was asking me about it. He managed to get them to go digging in their warehouse and sell him the last one, but yeah. I have not reviewed the second. I was one of the first people that he reached out to, and then Teaching Tech ended up being his main guy, and he hasn't reached out to me again. But he's like so he's not in mainland China. He's in Taiwan, and he does great work. It really looks like a great little printer kit. So at some point, one of the many things that I need to do, it's on my list. I have good intuitions about the second and the second Go, all of that. Oh, okay. All right, well, I'm going to try to do this in place without... I can reach my hands under here. Well, I can reach my hand under here. So let's see if I can get this done without having to tip it over in some strange fashion. I do have this SD card and one of these funky readers for trying to, put it in the computer and Lightspeed. Man, I keep wanting to call you Steven as soon as I see your name. Anyway, no, I don't watch. Tell me about it. Michael's project. I'd like to know. This is the first I'm hearing about it. Anyway, there's a manual. There's a manual on this SD card, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna wing it. So let's guess here. We got 6 long screws and these ones. So these little short screws are for the hot end here, and these ones we're gonna have 2, 3. Yeah, so that's gonna be super easy. 3 and 3. Well, this is crazy. The gantry sits 80% of the way back off the printer here. That's interesting. I guess that bed. Yeah, it works. That's cool. Normally, you're used to having the gantry sit dead center. He's doing a Temple Little Monster rebuild. Really? That is funny. I like the LOL. Like some people understand the subtext there. Although I wasn't the first person to champion the Temple Little Monster. That would be what's his name? RC Life On. Love his channel. He's kind of the Casey Neistat of 3D printing. He was really the first one to do that, so good on him. That's just funny. I hardly get any views on my Temple Little Monster, so I don't know. Maybe we'll feed off each other. Maybe Michael doing that will actually help me out. To be clear, I mean, I'm not supposed to talk about these kind of things. I was never trying to start drama. Michael does good work, and I don't know how he puts out so many technical videos. It's like a superpower. I'm like trying to figure it out so that I can do the same. It's just that he was clearly looking at other people's hits for their videos and making videos were extremely similar with extremely similar titles, which takes traffic away from other people's channels. So it's like, I don't have beef with him. I just am like, dude, you got to knock this off, but it just gets blown out of proportion. And then there might be a troll farm or sock puppet farm or who knows, So, and as far as the Temple Little Monster thing, good. It's a good printer. I wish they still made it. Well, I mean, I wish they still made the, what was it, the animal, the Predator. I wish they still made the Predator. I mean, that was just, they just made it. I think they do one production run of these things, they sell out, and then they're done. It's stupid. Although, in fairness, they are like $1,000 printers. Yeah, I know, Michael. Yeah, I know. Everything's a copy. Everything's. But there was a whole YouTube channel called Everything's a Remix, and it's true. Everything is a remix. But there's a difference between making a remix and advancing things. So like, this is what open source is, right? Like, the license is out there to encourage people to make it even better, to make the next iteration. There's a difference between that, adding to, and basically going hunting for something that's successful so that you can steal the value from that thing and almost add nothing to it. You just are like newer, It's like there's that band out there, I forget what they're called, but they sound exactly like, come on, Led Zeppelin. They sound exactly like Led Zeppelin. And Dawn, hey, thank you. Thank you. I think that your videos are all great, and I like your content and outlook on things. Well, I really appreciate that, Dawn. Thank you. So yeah, there's a difference between having like a cover and basically being super influenced or inspired by. And I think Michael's top videos from the past, he's not doing this anymore, but I think they were much closer to the copies and farther away from being inspired and improving upon. So yeah, there's that. Everyone's copying, of course. Yeah, I mean the funny thing about that, Brian, is that the I don't know why I'm having such a hard time starting these screws. I mean, it's just so funny. I call it a den of thieves over there in China. You know, like so it's like in a way we kind of want to be like, ha, serves you right, China, copying. But you know, the Ender 3 and the Ender 3, what's innovative about it, right? They took the open builds style of, I mean, this is a copy of Creality basically. Creality was not the first, but they were really the ones that strongly delivered quality of these extrusion type, you know, plastic pulleys and extrusions, this kind of machine. And as soon as they were successful, everybody in China started copying them. But how does this printer go together? There's already bolts here in the bottom. So is this, well, why did they send me the extra bolts? So clearly they send this with the, with these brackets here, just to hold, because we have two legs. So we're just holding the two legs from Craig Holmes. Thank you, man. The latest thoughts on the tool changer behind you. Any updates videos on? Okay. Anyway, let me get back to this, and then we'll talk about the tool changer. Hold on just a second, Craig. So what the heck was I talking about? You know what, Craig? We're just going to talk about your subject. We'll get back to this. The tool changer. I still love it. I still love it. I still think. I mean, there's a few. Look at the future. The future of FDM. There's a big bright future for FDM, but just like the saying goes, the last 10% takes 90% of the time, right? The low-hanging fruit, the easy problems to solve in 3D printing have kind of already been done, right? So this whole technically 2.5D printing that we consider 3D printing is not the end, not even close. What we need to get into is 5-axis printing from all sides, because as I've shown or talked about, I didn't show it, I didn't come up with it, but the cyber mill, the print mill, the 3D print mill up there prints at 45 degrees, which means that relative to the bed, it can print completely horizontally relative to the bed because that nozzle is at 45 degrees. So relative to the nozzle, that's a 45-degree overhang. So with a 5-axis print nozzle that can go in any direction, you can, hi from Sweden, hi from the west coast of the United States. You can print and you don't have to have any support. So 5-axis printing, clearly the future. The other future is multi-material printing, because look, here's my favorite tool we were just talking about. It's got a rubber on the outside of it, right? So we put rubbery things on so much. We've got like drills with TPU. So if for no other reason than to make objects that humans are going to touch, you want to have like a TPU rubber overmolding on these things that you're making, right? Or you want to be able to put like 2 different types of plastics. Maybe you've got a bearing surface that needs to be really strong, and you've got, you know, a different color of something that's sort of more decorative on your part. So multi-material 5-axis is where it's where it needs to go. It is. So to answer your question, I still love that printer, but it's difficult to use. How about I put it that way? Duet, my favorite company. I mean, I hardly talk about Duet these days. I need to get back to Duet. I love Duet. These guys. Nobody is polishing and putting more effort into making just the best product in the consumer level 3D printing space than Duet. And the tool changer runs on the Duet. So Duet is largely responsible for the functionality of that tool changer. But because there's not a lot of tool changers out there, Duet's not that motivated to polish that workflow perfectly. So when I first used their build, there were little things that were unpolished. It was hard enough for me to wrap my brain around it. I mean, it's not that hard. I'll get it, but it was taking me enough time to wrap my brain around it, and then it takes time. It takes time. This is where the hobby gets cognitively very intense. So you have to be willing to put in the time, like learning how to program. You really have to understand your machine. The tool changer is an advanced machine, and it's probably going to take me a week, maybe like a week and a half, till I would call myself like expert, not even expert, but till I would call myself like fully capable of making multicolor, multi-material prints. And so I got to that point where I'm like, this is going to take a week-long commitment, and I've always had other projects taking priority. So yeah, I need to do it. I mean, look, I just spent a week on the Cyber Mill, the the 3D print mill up there. So there's no reason why I shouldn't. I mean, I spent $3,000 on that machine. It's a great machine, built solidly to last. I mean, you could print 1 billion parts with that thing and it's not going to wear out. All those other criticisms I had for the machines still stand, but they made what they set out to make, which is an absolutely bulletproof tool changer that works fantastically. So success in that regard. It's just now a matter of usability and me learning how to use it. So hope that answers your question. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of 3D printer technologies that Skynet might use. Additive manufacturing, right? It's so funny because you tell people that you're into 3D printing and they understand exactly what you mean because it's this FDM style printing that everybody thinks of. But this is just one technique among many. Direct metal laser sintering, that's what Skynet's going to use. That is the tech. Yeah, see these brackets? They just come on the machine so that these legs don't get bent or damaged during shipping. Don't stop me now, cause I'm having such a good time, having a ball. Does singing Queen get me demonetized? Probably, huh? Stupid lawyers. Quick question for starting durable parts. Kids' toys, would you pick nylon or polycarbonate? I'm hesitating. So Michael Hathaway, right beneath your comment there, Francis, Michael Hathaway is actually kind of an expert on printing with carbon fiber impregnated nylon. Now, I can't give you an easy answer. I don't know your toy. Nylon's a little bit more flexible than polycarbonate. It's like if you need to put some sort of a natural hinge or maybe sort of a spring on it. It's hard to describe colloquially. How do you say that word? Colloquially, it's hard to describe the properties of nylon. So polycarbonate is a lot stiffer and it's just so strong. It's amazingly strong. There's this advertisement from, I used to be a mountain biker back in the day. I used to race. And there was this advertisement back in the 90s with Oakley sunglasses. This is when they were first getting started. And they had this polycarbonate lenses, and they shot a shotgun at these lenses from point blank. And the shotgun doesn't break the polycarbonate. Each of the little BBs like stretch like this hole. They stretch this hole in the, it's like an inch or two long. I mean, so it would hit your eyeballs, but it doesn't break. It sort of stretches it. So polycarbonate is just, it's the most incredible plastic. And so the root plastic of polycarbonate, it's the Cadillac. It's the best one. But it's expensive, and you got to print it in a chamber. Depending on the size of your part, you might be able to get away with printing nylon not in a chamber. So there's considerations. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to answer your question. I need to see the part. Thanks a lot. Yeah, it's funny about PETG. It's like flexible until it's not. It's really strange behavior. It's hard to you can't quite predict when it's going to snap and when it's going to bend on you. It's like half the time it just sort of bends and it gets that like white crease line, and then the other time it just snap. But once it has a nick or I don't know what to call it, and like any sort of a nick or the start of a cut, that will start the crack, which will spread through the thing and then it will snap. But as long as you don't have a nick, I guess, or even like a microscopic fissure, it just sort of bends. So yeah, I mean, I do like PETG just because it's easier to print, but it's got its problems. Interesting. I'm going to tighten down all these other screws and show you what I'm dealing with there. That's kind of fun. That's a fun problem to have. SaneSmart Coreception. Yeah. Same as the elf. Yeah, there's some good smaller companies. Well, SaneSmart's not small. They're trying to take over. It's so funny. Like, how does SaneSmart come out of nowhere in like the last year and just be so dominant when like almost nobody's reviewing them? It's like how does China work? Like you gotta like whoever SaneSmart is, maybe they were the owners of the factories that were making all the printers for Tevo or something like that. Like it just doesn't make sense for the way that like business happens everywhere that I'm used to. I don't know how a company can come out of nowhere like that and be so popular. Jeff, why don't you just print with nylon? As long as it's not a large part with warpage, you can definitely easily print with nylon, even on these printers. Yeah, but yeah, print with nylon. Other than that, PETG, if it doesn't have to be that structural, I mean, PETG is strong until it's not. It's strong until it fails on you. Does that make any sense? That was like the stupidest thing I've ever said. It's strong until it's not. Yeah. All right. Let's see if I can do this. See these screws? These two are easy to get to, but then they've got this this wiring that's bumping out over the top of where the third screw needs to go. So I somehow have to fish. Oh, that wasn't too hard. Spoke too soon? Come on, get in there. Pain on the butt. And these are the Allen keys that came in the box with the printer, so they're good. I do love ball end Allen mill or ball end Allen keys. This one not ball ended; it's just your normal square end. These are less likely to strip your bolt out, but you have to be straight with them. You can't. So I don't know. Hey, speaking of that. Shout out to Michael Hathaway once again. He's been giving me all of his secrets, which is awesome. And one of his secrets he gave me is this Easy Grip stuff from Amazon, I think is where I got it. Stuff's pretty cool. I think it might be like a non-Newtonian fluid. Let's see if I can do this. No, it's just that. It's just this sort of like, I don't know what it is, but what you do is you stick it in your stripped out bolt heads, and it will help the tool grip into the stripped out bolt heads. So yeah. Yeah, there you go. Aircraft easy grip. There you go, Michael. Okay, well, I think we're pretty much ready to plug things in and get that hot end on. Something's rattling around inside there as I tip this. So just to give you guys what I'm doing, there's a stepper motor plug there on the left side. Here's a stepper motor plug on the right side. Because we have dual lead screws for the Z. I've got this wiring right here, which, yep, that's going to plug in to this. So there's just a little pigtail disconnector for the two looms between the gantry piece and the base. So that's just a little pigtail connector there. And I think that's all the wires to connect. Now, while I was assembling this, I accidentally pinched the sort of snakeskin, I don't know what you call that stuff, the goes around the outside of the wires, the wiring loom cover, but I pinched it here, so I gotta release that. All right. Full movement on the bed. Got some nice strain relief going. I think it's missing a zip tie. Maybe I didn't get any zip ties in the box. Yeah, there could be another zip tie on that snakeskin stuff, but kind of a trivial little thing there. And just like the Mingda D2, this is going to be easy to assemble. This part goes right here, plugs into the stepper motor. I don't really like this part. It looks like it was quickly designed and not really put a lot of thought into it. And also, my new hot end design will not work with it. It collides. The fan collides with it. Don't stop me now. And it's funny because they give you these Phillips or Japanese International Standard, the other Phillips looking screwdriver bit, but they don't include a screwdriver. That's okay, because like every reasonable person who does anything mechanical, I have plenty of screwdrivers. Yeah, it looks exactly the same as the D2 for the hot end. But you know, I like that. I like that hot end. Not because it works good straight out of the box, but because there's it's just really, the only problem with it is the fan ducts. The rest of the hot end is good. This switch bracket is a little bit bent, so now it's straight. That wasn't hard at all. But these spade connectors are kind of missized for the to plug into the end stop switch here. It's not terrible, but it's not great. Yeah, this is, they could have done better. Malut, because this is my favorite subject. I'm going to answer you. There is, look up Marlin, or sorry, RepRap firmware online configurator. Just look that up. It's all a GUI based thing. And then you can, of course, edit the text file for the actual firmware build. but it's so much easier, the text file, because with Marlin, it's like the actual firmware that you're editing, not just this like configuration file. I mean, there's a configuration.h, but it's like the configuration.h is so confusing. Whereas the configuration file for Duet is just the parameters that you want to deal with. There's nothing extra in there. So I love it. I think Duet's the best. The RepRap firmware, Duet, all kind of developed by the same company, but it is open source. So just fantastic. Well worth the price, you guys. Like think about it. Think about the electronics. It's at least 50% of what makes a printer a printer. I mean, I love to talk about the mechanics. That's like my bag. That's what I do. But equally important, if not more so important, the functionality of the firmware and how well the electronics work. Yeah, we don't know how much it is. I forgot to look that up before starting the stream. I want to say like $500. Don't stop me now. Okay, we're going to take this apart while we're here. You guys, I might have to cut this stream short. You can hear my kiddo screaming in the other room. He's at that age where he does not want to take naps, and it's kind of rough. I know some of you have already done the whole parenthood thing, but it's all new to me. All right, let's look at this. Don't stop me now. That's not in focus, is it? Can we focus that? Oh, come on. Camera, letting me down. What if I stand in front of the camera? Nope, not gonna work. Keep talking about mechanics. All right, let's look at this up close. Is that in focus? Yeah, that's better. This is important, so let's take the time to do this right. All right, what we have here is, okay, so what we're looking at. This fan shroud is the problem. I really don't mind. I think this is great. I think all the heatsink that you need. Again, this is an intuitive thing. I can't say, I haven't done like the scientific tests to verify these. This is my intuition with working on all these printers. But I think that is all the heatsink that you can possibly need. So unfortunately, look at this fan duct. It's blocking the air to half the heatsink. What a terrible, terrible design. So it's just this part here that's so awful. And I've got new versions of that. See this? These are the prints for my the Mingda D2, and these will work. So this is already designed. I should probably just assemble this on there right now. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Should I do a review of the actual printer, or should I start with the parts that I know are going to work? Anybody? I know there's a delay here, but do it. I don't know. Do you guys want to see the printer as you're going to buy it, or do you guys want to see the printer as I can easily turn it into right now? Install actual printer. Okay, actual printer. Start stock. I say upgrade. Oh, come on, Nonstick. It's more fun involving you guys. No, don't do it, says the Lightspeed. All right, I'm going to start stock. The main problem with this, I didn't have any problems printing PLA. So if you get into higher temperature plastics, that's not going to be enough cooling with the stock bracket here. But this part cooling sucks. You got to kind of bend it like that, and then down to get the right angle on the part cooling duct, just to get. And it's always one-sided part cooling as well. So that's the junky. That's the only real issue that I have with the fundamental issue that I have, and it's so easy to fix. So here's the fix. Let's go with stock to begin with. We'll do a test run. I don't know if I have the time to stretch this live stream all that way. Okay, what I'm going to do here, use my Knipex pliers to bend that down. I also need to bend the backside back here. Can you guys see that? Let's see if I can fit the pliers in there. I snap the aluminum, kind of. All right, well, ugly as that is, it's actually way more functional now. And let's bend this here like so. I'm just trying to give this a little bit more downwardness. I don't know how else to put it before I bend the thing outward to aim the duct. All right, so there's that. So now I will bend this. It's like sculpture class, only it's 3D printing. You can see, guys, why I love these Knipex pliers. They're really helping me out here. All right, that's going to do the trick. See the angle on that on the part cooling there? That's going to hit the right there at the tip much better, and we'll get better cooling there. So if you bend your bracket into that ugliness, it's going to be far more functional, but we'll be able to print stock and get some decent results. I don't see a purpose. This thing is stupid. The only thing this is at all useful for is holding the plastic nut here that keeps your wiring out of the way. The rest of this whole shroud is just like, if it was America, I'd call it a lawyer thing. They're just trying to make it safe so you don't actually accidentally touch the hot end. But look at it, the whole thing goes below the hot end anyway. And now that I bent that fan shroud, it's actually hidden. So I got to bend this part out too, just to give me the extra room for the fan shroud. Ooh, I got a hornet in here. How did he get in? The hornet in my room. Well, that gets the microphone closer. There we go. All right. Don't stop me now, 'cause You know, it's something I can talk about right now. These little, and I can't really show it here, but that little 40 millimeter blower fan for part cooling, I love them because they're tiny and really lightweight, and you do want to lessen the weight on the inertial mass on your X carriage. But they're kind of anemic. They're not really strong enough for. They're not really strong enough. They don't provide enough wind to really cool your part, especially when you've got one of these with this. I mean, that's a good inch and a quarter. So like, I don't know, 35 millimeters from the nozzle. So when you have this anemic little fan, the amount of part cooling you're getting, it's not very high. Don't stop me now. Hey, how many of you are still tuned in? Again, I can't see that counter. What's the counter look like these days? Not enough CFM. Yeah, thank you. Technical jargon. Cubic feet per minute. Yep, should have been using that term. 107. So yeah, about the same. Same as it was the whole time. We've just got these 3 bolts here. They're pretty easy, especially because this is non-ball end Allen key, so you can just stick it on there, line it up, thread it in. All right, I think we're ready to print. Oh, we got to put this part on. 2 seconds here. I don't know how to do that, Beef Ignite. Like make a little video? Just make a video announcing the video that's coming? Well, Brian, maybe you can help me out because I don't know how to do that. What is that? Like, you guys have seen other announcements? How do they come through if they're not a community tab? Hey, by the way, really appreciate you guys helping me out with my panel. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, this is a waste of my time. Why am I doing this? It's like, I want to call it a labor of love, but there's been so many times when I've made videos out of a sense of duty or something. It's just I wasn't feeling very good about 3D printers, but I wanted to keep doing it. So it wouldn't be like a labor of love, but it's kind of about love. I don't know. But yeah, so thank you guys who are the helpers. Mr. Rogers taught us that. Thank you to the helpers. Stop me now, cause I'm having such a good time, having a ball. I think that's it. Time to plug it in. Plug it in, plug it in. So to answer the question that was asked like an hour ago, This looks like a scaled up version of the D2. We got the same filament runout sensor, which is going to have the same sort of issues that that one has. I don't like where it is. It has problems. The magnetic bed I like, and it has the BL Touch. Other than that, it's just a big version of the D2. I guess I should look at the, oh yeah, you know, before we turn it on, let's take a look at the electronics. Oh, this is a heavy machine. Not as heavy as the CR30 up there. Don't fall. Perfect. Just barely fits. Oh, geez. All right, well, I got like 10 screws to unscrew here. What are we going to talk about while I'm doing this? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, swiveling would help. But, you know, more than that, Michael, the, you know, it's so funny. Everybody's in last video, they hate that I'm using that crap filament, but that crap filament shows you, it's like a stress test. It really shows you what can go wrong with printers. And that crap filament breaks all the time on me. And it tends to break at the sensor, right before the sensor even. So if it breaks right before the sensor, well, no, that wouldn't be the case. No, if it breaks after the sensor, that's what it is. So if it breaks between the sensor and the hot end, then the hot end thinks it's still spinning and the sensor still has filament in it, and it just really doesn't work. So the whole, I don't know, I have to give some more thought to that. I'll give some more thought and I'll say it better in a future video. But right now I don't have like a fix right in mind. It's just all I have is a criticism. It's just not good the way that it is. Yeah, we're gonna look at the grounding. Yeah, thanks. I always forget that. I was gonna forget it too here. Thank you for reminding me to flip the switch to 220 from 220 to 110. It always comes for the international 220. Like the switch is thrown for 220. Are you trolling 3D Check Tech? You trying to get me to go off on a tangent? I mean, of course I agree with your statement, but they offer customer service, unlike China. So enough said there. All right, I'm seeing a normal, standard power supply with nothing special on it. I do see the hot glue on that one I've never seen before. We got hot glue all in here. Here, let's give you guys a closer view. We got hot glue all on the spade connectors. I don't like that. These things can kind of get hot right there. But I don't know. Hot glue's not conductive though. That's just, ugh, I understand that for clips, but the spade connectors with the screws, I think that's stupid. But whatever. Okay. I mean, the wiring is clean. We don't have. It's not as good as the CR30 up there with those loops and all that kind of stuff with the rings. I'm not gonna pop those drivers off, although I've been seeing nothing but trinamic drivers lately, and that's an ARM processor, so there's a 32-bit processor there. This isn't gonna work for you guys, but let's see if I can get a view myself. You guys know this trick? You always have a magnifying glass in your pocket because you can just pull your phone out and zoom in. STM32F103ZET6. ARM. Beats me. Whatever. It's 32-bit, so it's got, you know, it's going to have all the memory and everything that you need. Yeah, does the job. Okay. $27 megahertz. Is that good or bad? I'm not an electronics guy. What are we talking about, Lexus and Toyota? I want in on that conversation. VS Code profile from this board. Hey, I have a topic to talk about. What do you guys think about Clipper? Now I know it's got a lot of love, and I kind of have the suspicion that Prusa is going to adopt Clipper in the future, possibly. It seemed to me when Clipper was first coming out that I was getting a lot of cross comments from Prusa fans who also loved Clipper. And I know that it's the less expensive option that works with Chinese control boards, which I've never had good luck with. But what do you guys think? Like, I'm sure some of you have actually used Clipper, right? So, I mean, I don't think the duet boards are overpriced. It's like $100 more, and for that $100 you get a product that you know is going to work. It works fantastically with very little effort on your part. If you want to spend the effort to really dig into it, you can, because it is open source. So I don't see any reason why Clipper should. Time is money, right? So the time that you spend getting a Clipper build to work seems to me to make up for the extra money that you saved by buying a Chinese control board to run Clipper. So I don't know. That's just my way of thinking about it. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with that, or do you guys think that the price you pay less for a Chinese control board and then the functionality that you get by putting Clipper on it? So is it better to try to get Clipper running on this board that came with it, or should I be just putting a duet board into this printer? Yeah, I agree. Okay, so most of you guys agree with me. But doesn't mean I'm not trying to squash dissent. Like, there's no right answer here, you guys. If you do love Clipper and you have used it, like, by all means, we need a diverse ecosystem. So chime in, tell us why you love Clipper. The funny thing about it, and I'm not involved, like I'm just speaking about things that I don't have a lot of knowledge about at the moment, but Clipper, Marlin, RepRap firmware, they all have like the same functionality and they're all open source. So it seems to me they're probably all just copying snippets of code from each other and getting all the functionality to run. Yeah, so then it just becomes a matter of the implementation, like who implemented it better than like what the actual functionality of each of the firmwares is. All right, well, that's it. We're ready to print. Let's turn this thing on. Let me give you extreme vest close up. This is so amateur hour, you guys. Let me reset up my shot every time. I will get there, I promise. In future videos, I will have a whole professional setup with a deck where I can press a button. All right. So the Big Tree Tech running RepRap firmware, it's an interesting issue. Okay, you guys, you have to know I've had not a lot of interactions with the Duet guys. They've given me boards to test. So I'm extremely grateful to them. But I don't know them. They haven't, I mean, they've got a forum which I talk to, and I really like them, but I don't know them. They're not like, I've talked to like other people a whole lot more than Duet. So that being said, I still feel like they deserve to sell Duet boards at the inflated price because of all the work they've done on RepRap firmware as well as the Duet boards, which were built to work together. So think of like Apple computers. If you're an Apple guy, I mean, hardly anybody's an Apple guy anymore, but they built the hardware and the software and they were designed to work together. And then the Hackintosh community came around. So I kind of feel like putting RepRap firmware onto a Big Tree Tech board is the same as a Hackintosh, and it's open source. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, that is the spirit of open source, getting it to work. But is it better? I don't know. It's a hard issue. I can't unpack it. And I am interested in getting RepRap firmware to work on another board, but it just doesn't feel right because that's Duet's baby, and they did all the value came from Duet. So to just cut Duet now out of it, it just feels like a betrayal. There we go. No, I did not. Thank you, Nikolai. I will do that right now. Satisfaction. Yeah, I hate how they're doing that these days, where they're kind of the screen is behind the bezel, so these never come off cleanly. All right, where's my switch? Oh man. I don't see the switch from the outside. On the other printer, on the Ming to D2, the switch was on the outside. So let's hope, I'm gonna plug it in. Let's hope that it's already pre-switched. They sent me the American version. Because other than that, I gotta take all those screws back out again. Oh, it's working. I didn't need to do it. Awesome. And that, awesome. Okay, we're rolling. What do you guys think the test print's going to be? The little cat that's like this. Never a benchy. How come the Chinese companies never give you a benchy as the pre-sliced test print? Yeah, see, it just takes so many. Gotta try to straighten that filament out. I've already got the cut on it, the way that you need to do the little sharp cut. Come on, get through there. You can do it. Come on. Come on! Stupid thing. I just pushed real hard and it went through. It's just, it's bad design. The only thing I like about it is the metal housing. I predict disaster with that. We'll see what happens. Good. That belt tension seems a little bit loose. I'm going to tighten that down. Phillips, or Japanese International Standard. Either way, the tool that they did not give you in the box. That's better. That's the bed Bed built is good. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. You guys saw, hopefully you guys saw when I was first starting this up that the bed has that thermal insulation, which is awesome for a large bed like this. So what to do? Let's let's look at comments for a second. I'm not 6 feet tall. I wish. I'm kind of short, you guys. Yeah, time to level it. My chunky bed leveling paper. You can see remnants of filament from leveling jobs past. Menu. Move. Nope, not that one. Home. Home. Oh, I did not tighten these down all the way. Uh-oh. Can I get him tightened down before it runs into that end stop switch? Hurry, hurry, hurry! The drama. I'm not supposed to use this word, but I totally just yeeted that. Come on. Oh. You know what I did, you guys? I lowered the bed below the max travel. And I lowered it because I was thinking that right here was, like on the Ming to D2, the end stop switch for the Z direction. I forgot that this has the BL touch or the 3D touch. So the bed is too low and it was overrunning its travel. My bad. I need to do my credit card trick. But I don't have a credit card on me. What can I use? Do I have a business card around here somewhere? I do. Diversified Welding here in the Vancouver area. There is going to be a disable stepper function for sure. I don't know. This is the way I do it. I forgot to level. I was doing it all wrong. I got to level the gantry first using each individual screw, and then. I mean, I only do this. This is just the first time setup because it's got the BL touch or the I should call it the 3D touch, the knockoff BL touch. Okay, I need to do this from the front where we can see what's going on. Oh, there we go. Can I go all the way down there? I can. Okay, the beam is level. Now it's going to be the bed that's out of level. So now I'm just going to line up these thumb wheels here so that I see the same amount of threads sticking out the bottom. About one thread, maybe. And now that'll work. So let's just level this and call it good. Menu, home. Sweet. Okay, let's see how you do the algorithm then. There's a leveling button. Deploy, stow, test, ABL. Rick, I don't know about price dropping. I got reports that some people got a heck of a deal on Prime Day or something, and they got their Ming to D2 for like $180, and now it's up to like 260, I think 250. So I don't know. Sometimes you want to jump on these printers when they first come out, right? Take my money. RGB LED. It's so hokey too. It's just an LED that's been zip tied. It's like in line, and then it's just zip tied to the wiring for the hot end for the like thermistor and the heating element. I hope the stream's not too choppy. No, it's the no, it's pretty much, I don't know. The light flashes. It's just the shutter with the camera, so I don't think the stream's choppy. I don't know, maybe. Good to hear, Beefing it. All right. Let's see how long this bed takes to heat up. Okay, the question now is, do I need to set the offset, or did that come from the factory? And in order to answer that the correct way, I should be sticking this SD card into my computer and reading the manual. Manual. I don't know, guys. Move. Why? Well, I'm just gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust it. Do you guys think this was calibrated from the factory? I mean, I figure it's 50-50, right? Should we go with it? Risk damaging this this beautiful print surface here? Yeah, I could do that with the baby steps. Are there baby steps in this thing? I don't even know if this thing has baby steps. Back to the Big Tree Tech question. This probably does look like a Big Tree Tech. It's always the same. There's going to be like a Chinese company that makes this electronics, and all the other Mingda and Big Tree Tech, they're all going to throw it in there. So I don't know if this firmware has... All right. I will just pull the plug on it if it starts to damage the bed. I mean, I'm replacing this bed eventually anyway, so here we go. First, let's do a heat. So let's get that bed up to 60 degrees. 60 degrees. Okay. There's the nozzle. We know the nozzle will heat up quickly. All right, the bed's currently at 24 degrees of 60. So let's chat. We'll have a chat while we're waiting for that to heat up. Yeah, that flickering light is kind of annoying, huh, guys? Sorry, not a lot I can do about that. Do, 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 do. It's an E3D V6 on the printer. No, it's actually, it's really cool. You have to go watch my Mingda. I mean, I showed it a while back here on the stream, but go watch my review video about the Mingda D2 if you really want to see a close-up of that hot end. I really like it. It's based on a hack that I did. I actually did it twice. I did it once on my artillery Sidewinder and once on this, like, the G-Tech, what is it called? i3 Pro B. Such a crappy printer. But on both of those printers, they kind of had a similar problem. So I chopped an E3D V6 hot end into slices and then threaded it all the way through and was able to thread that heatsink onto these really long throats. So I used that, and they must have saw that hack. They must have seen that hack. And I mean, I never saw it before, or they came up with it independently, but I suspect they saw my video. And they made it from the factory like that. It wasn't a hack for them. It was like a design. They were aiming for that for the design. And I think it's a great, really compact, really inexpensive, easy to manufacture hot end design. The reason that it sucks is because the part cooling and board cooling, or the hot end cooling and the part cooling that they're including is just all wrong. So that bracket that I was talking about a little while ago, if you put a better bracket on it, then I think this hot end is just like really great for the money. It's just a really simple and yet effective hot end. So I like it. Yeah, innovator. I try. That's what I'm trying to do. Like the goal. Yeah, on the artillery Sidewinder is where I did that. See this crappy printer. Let's see if I can get in there. Can you see it? Maybe, kind of, sort of. There it is. Anyway, up in there is another one of those. This printer just came with it's a direct drive from back in the day, and it just came with such a long throat. It was like this long, so I was able to thread that. This is the printer that I had the idea originally for it, and then when I was working on the artillery Sidewinder, that's when I was like, oh, I could use the same technique on the artillery Sidewinder. Yeah. I mean, it's fun because it's transparent, but it is acrylic. It worked. I even put that in like a 50-degree heated chamber for many hours, maybe 50 hours of printing. I had to tighten down the screws every couple of prints because the screws would come loose in the acrylic in the heated chamber. Not even heated, just the passively warm chamber. Yeah, this camera is a Sony RX100. So it's kind of a point and shoot. I've got it mounted on this little thing on my desk. Close my eyes. Don't know why I was supposed to do that. So I can't put a different lens on it. It just is what it is. The problem is, and I've got a really nice DSLR camera, it's a GH5 with an awesome lens on it, but the autofocus is not very fast, and it's such an unwieldy camera that to be able to just, like, you've seen me just picking this camera up and sticking it next to the printer, it was easier to use. Oh, not me. Okay. Yeah. The one getting vertigo. Yeah, sorry. I'll get it. I'll get it, you guys. I will be moving probably. We're hoping to get a forever house or a long-term house for the family come middle of next year. So if I do move now, like to the new city, I would have to rent and have some other sort of studio thing happening while I'm renting. And then I can build my permanent studio come the middle of next year. So I don't know, 6 to 9 months from now, and I'll look a lot more professional then. Let's see how this heat is doing. Hey, it's at 60. We missed it. That's pretty cool. All right, well, let's pay a little closer attention this time and see what happens if I try to go to 90, 100. What do you guys think? Should I push it all the way? Let's go to 100. Man, for such a big bed, that really heated up quickly. I'm pretty impressed by that. You know what? This is an AC heated bed. There was that, I missed it when we were looking at the wiring. Somebody scroll back and look at the thing and tell me if that's a solid state relay or like a MOSFET or something for an AC heated bed. All right, we're at 63 degrees right now. Start our timer. That's how long it takes to get to 100. 64. 65. Yeah, it's going to take a while. Maybe that's not an AC heated bed. That is a lot of surface area, though. Nah, there's no way. This is not an AC heated bed because it's a PCB bed heater. You know, it's clearly PCB attached to the aluminum. It would have to be a silicone mat to be AC. I've never seen. I don't know why. Maybe somebody who knows more about the electronics. Why can't we run the PCB attached to the aluminum? Why can't we run that on AC? It's like not quite strong enough, not quite robust enough. It burns out with the AC or something like that. $71. That's pretty fast, you guys. Maybe, I mean, that's way too fast for a 24-volt power supply. It's got to be AC. That is such a big bed. We're already at 73. Like, it would take to get to 100. To get to 100 on my old, larger beds. Like, I've still got this crappy Core XY. It was good at the time. There were no Core XY kits, so I'm defending my words from the time. But it's crap. And that is the what even is it? The Tronci something X5S 400. And that bed, I don't think I could ever even get it to 100 degrees. So either they're somehow increasing the quality of the PCB, the thickness of the substrate of the copper that's, you know, inlaid on the PCB on the underside of the bed, or they're running at AC. I don't know how else they could get these temperatures. 77? Oh, it's climbing. Yeah, maybe the insulation. Maybe that's a big deal. Although I did put cork insulation on that bed too, so it wasn't. The insulation helps, but it's not as big of a deal as you might think. I mean, most of the heat's going to come out the top of it, right? Electrical insulation. Maybe. Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying, Andrew. If there's a MOSFET in there, then it can take the AC directly. It's all just the way it wires, so It's pretty easy to do. If I had an AC bed on here, it'd be pretty easy to wire it up. You just attach the SSR signal to the output that would normally be driving all the heater to the bed, but instead the output just now provides a signal to the solid state relay, the SSR, and then the SSR wires directly to the mains voltage coming out of your wall. And so you just have a heater element, just like your normal room heater or whatever, and that heater element is what heats the bed up. Well, we're up to 85, so that's a pretty quick, that's pretty quick. Do you guys want to go to 100? I don't want to go to 100. Screw that. We're just going to go back down. So let's go back down to 60. Actually, you know what's funny? I'm going to stop it. Watch how fast it drops. A little help. I mean, even AC heated beds that I've seen only have the 2 wires going to them. Oh, hey, that's cool. That would explain it. No, I don't think this is AC heated. There's 4 wires back here, so that means there's going to be 2 sets of coils, each running individually. So that's how they're accomplishing that. Hey, good on them. That's clever. Yeah, that's clever. I like it. Thanks for the wiring tip. I should have looked at that to begin with. Yeah, we're back down to 79. All right. Let's go print. Print. Don't forget to put the SD card in the machine. Upside down. That's the only way it reads it. All right, time for you guys to vote. What do we want here? Do we want cartoon Halloween pumpkin, big white, whatever that is, or fox? We got 3 options. Cartoon Halloween pumpkin, big white, or fox. Dog. Dog's not a fox. It's a fox, not a dog. And they're both canines, but... Fox, big white. Oh, come on. Fox. Okay, we got 3 for fox. Oh, we got 2 for big white now. 4 for fox. First 1 to 10 wins. 5 for fox. 6 for fox. I think fox is gonna win it. Oh, come on, Kyle. I'm counting that for fox. Oh, it's gonna be fox. Big white. Oh, baby. Fox. I'm not saying that word, Nikolai. I'm saying fox. I think Mr. G Code. Hey, oh, come on. You voted for both of them? That's confusing. Fox it is. All right. Oh, I gotta get that. Nozzle up to temperature. Absolutely. Must have for 3D printing. But you guys know this. Grab your filament. It's only printing this at 185 degree for the nozzle temperature. Yeah, the cat. Yeah, hey Nikolai, love you, buddy. You're a big help to this channel. Please don't cuss. Please don't cuss anybody. Somebody left a middle finger, which is worse than just a general cuss word. It seems directed at somebody. I don't know who it was directed at, but that's just out of bounds. So, I don't know. Do you guys know who that was that left the middle finger? If they're cool by everybody and everybody wants to vote them back in, I'll go fish them out of the banned from the channel category. But oh, this is going to be huge. It's the whole Mingda logo. So it's probably 4 inches across. What would that be? About 100 millimeters across? And we're building a raft? Why are we building a raft? Come on, it's got auto bed leveling. What are these people thinking? Come on, really? All right, I'm speeding this up. Oh, it does have baby steps. Who is that? Who's that asking about baby steps? It's got them. Maybe they're building a raft because they're not setting the offset perfectly from the factory. No, this is going down perfect. This is perfect. It's definitely doing auto bed leveling. Why are they building a raft? This is so dumb. All right, let's see what happens when we double the speed for their stupid raft. Still sticking. That is buttery smooth, you guys. I don't think they can get the microphone to get any closer. Yeah, it's silent. I mean, the fan. This is what I'm complaining about with Creality. The fans are at least half the volume, and it's probably that logarithmic thing. Like, this is pleasant. This is a nice, pleasant background hum, and those silent stepper motors are absolutely silent. I could literally be sitting 3 feet from this thing all day long and not be bothered. This is nice. I shouldn't zoom. I should just put the camera right next to it. I'm vlogging now. Noctua, you mean on the Ender 3 or on the Creality printer? There we go. All right. Let's have some fun with this. Come over here. I have to hide that for a minute. Right click, new incognito window. There we are. All right. Let's look at internet stuff while we're watching that thing print. Hey, look, there's my screen, my live broadcasting thing in the background. All right. Let's go to Amazon and search for Mingda D2 or D4 Pro. There it is. What? That's the D2. That's a good price. Oh, then did they sell out of the D4? Interesting. I wonder what you guys were saying earlier. Man, that Slice Engineering hot end is amazing, but that little tiny fan on that thing, ugh. Talk about loud little annoying fans. Apparently there's like some, it's not even something we normally talk about, but you got to go through this like digi key or somewhere and get a quiet fan that's that smaller size. Canadian Amazon has it still. How do I get Canadian.ca or something like that? Okay. Yeah, there we go. $6.99 Canadian. That's the one. Slice Engineering heat block sucks. Yeah, maybe, Michael. I don't know. I mean, this guy's professional engineer really understands his, but you're an engineer too, Michael. So maybe you know. I don't know. I kind of like it. Works, seems to work for me. So it is heavy though. It's made out of copper. Okay, let's do something else here. I'm gonna hide my screen from you guys for a quick second here. Let's give you a black background. Come over here. Copy. Where's this? Copy link address. Go back to here. Nope, not that one. We want to open up this. Sure. Control T, Control V, enter. There we go. And then I can come back to here and show you guys the monitor again. All right. So this thing here is what Mingda wants me to review now. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, look, it's just a knockoff E3D V6 and a Bondtech knockoff Bondtech. Tried and true. Like this is tried and true, but look at all that Z height that you lose because you got that cooling fan. Although that cooling duct is a lot shorter of a run and I like the 45 degrees on it. So you're going to get much better part cooling than with the stock D4 here. But I think with my part cooling duct and my hot end cooling duct on this D4, it's going to be less expensive and part cooling from both sides, and it's less expensive and it doesn't use knockoff components. So I don't know, you guys. Should I say yes to them and try to review this printer too? It's really cheap, actually. Oh, this is just the D2 size. That's why it's a Mingda D2 size. Let me see what you guys were saying here. I know, Beefinga. I just haven't learned OBS, all the things that I've been doing. That next final video on the what is it, the Naomi Mills 3D print mill, Naomi Wu's 3D print mill, that's coming out tomorrow. So I've been killing it with just making so much content. I just, it takes time. It takes time how to learn to use OBS, and it's like I have two jobs. First job is working on 3D printers. Second job is managing a YouTube channel. Got nothing to lose. Nonstick, I kind of do. I don't. Back in the day, like 2 years ago, I got like 3 printers and they were all crap. And I just felt so bad for not reviewing them. And then I threw them all together in one video and tried not to crap on them too much. But I just felt like such a flake. If China, which is supposed to be an undeveloped country, is going to go to the effort to send me a printer, I'm going to follow through and I'm not going to flake on them. I'm going to do a review. So I don't like saying yes to things and then not delivering. And I have so many other projects that I could be working on. It's like, So I don't say yes to a lot of printers. That's what it comes down to. OBS is great. Open source, free. Well, Rick, I do both. The thing is, I've got this awesome, super high-speed printing video that I can do with my Tevo little monster. I've got, what else do I have? I want to make a 5-axis 3D printer. So I want to completely just DIY it, you know? Maybe, what are we talking? What's that? Come on, the Core XY that somebody was asking me about, the Voron style for a 5-axis printer, to a giveaway. I mean, I can just make live videos out of these. These don't take too long. It's just one day. Normally, it's kind of a commitment of a couple of days, at least like half a week for when I say yes to a printer. Exactly. Auto drop. Hey, auto drop, Michael. Meet Michael Hathaway. You guys are both interested in the same things. Skynet will clone your design. Dude, we're already living in a simulation. We're already the batteries from the Matrix plugged into Skynet. Skynet already runs the whole thing. I'm not too worried. Oh, nice. Nice to hear, Michael. Custom duet-based build on your channel. Yeah. Yep. Well, the 5-axis one is first. I mean, if I'm Nikolai, if I'm going to do a custom build, I'm going to have to look for some like corner of the hobby that hasn't really been addressed yet. So I don't know. I mean, like I'm thinking of Konstantin's transformer printer. That thing was really cool. So yeah, maybe. I mean, that's why I haven't done a custom build yet. It's either that or some sort of a manufacturing process to make a printer in a different way. You know, because we're pretty much stuck with the Prusa style round linear motion rods or these extrusions with the Delrin wheels. Those are the two frame designs. There's 100 ways to make frames. I guess we also have the linear rails, like the Highwind rails or whatever, but they usually get bolted to extrusions. So there's a lot of room for doing things differently. Hi, Facundo Molina. Are you from Latin America? That's quite the elegant name you've got there. Thank you, Rick. That's appreciated. Yeah, nonstick. I've thought about making like a really expensive and enormous Delta, like using 2x4s, you know, something that's like 3 feet across and maybe printing with clay or something like that. Oh yeah, for sure, Blackhawk. Yep, for sure. In fact, there's a company coming out of Colorado that makes a really cool tool changer, which is also they focus on footwear. The 3D printer nerd went to their factory and did a tour. I think they're making one of the best looking machines that does that. Transformer style Delta printer. I don't, well, that's creative, Nikolai. Yeah, that's creative. I don't know that there would be much benefit, although it would, maybe you could figure out a way to limit the crazy Z height of a Delta when you're not using it. Robot arm 3D printer. Yeah, those things are done all the time. Robots are, they're just really, it's a statics problem. Keeping them stiff enough while still able to cantilever themselves out into space. So you'd be better off just putting a print head on like a KUKA robot off the shelf or something like that. And there's other channels here on YouTube dedicated to making 3D printed robots. It's, yeah, talk about a task. Instead of spending a week on a video, I'd be spending like 6 months to 9 months just to get the robot arm working. Oh, geez. Nikolai, you're going crazy now. I can't do that. That's way too much for me to take on. Well, nonstick. As I've wrapped my brain around Delta printers, it seems to me that whoever first came up with with the Delta with the motion system probably wrapped their brain around it using 4 arms, and then they were like, "Wait, why do we need that 4th arm?" It's just like I was griping about in that previous video. You only need 3 legs on a stool, so why have that 4th? It's overly constrained. So once you eliminate and you just do 3 arms, you lose a lot of weight, you lose a lot of complexity. There's a whole stepper motor that you don't need to use, a whole other vertical motion, and there's really nothing gained. So it's not stupid. It's absolutely the way that I think the person who was first conceptualizing the idea of a Delta robot, I think they were using 4 arms, and they were like, "What? I can just go with 3." New auto unload. Hey, Jeff, reach out to who was it up there? It's let's see, go by Auto Drop 3D. They have a self ejector that they're interested in, that they make or something like that. Yeah, talk to them. Yep, Michael. Yep. A turntable. I'm not going to give anything away about the project that I have in mind, Andrew. It's a 5-axis printer. It's going to be super cool. I hope. The idea that I have is pretty cool. It's coming soon in the next couple of months. Oh, Nikolai. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I got to think about that because I don't know if just having 1 arm on but 4 would keep that effector parallel. Yeah, it probably would. I think you're right. Yeah, good point, Nikolai. I never thought about that. Yeah, well, Richard, non-planar is awesome, but it's a stopgap. 5-axis. It's just like a halfway point between here and 5-axis printing. And the problem is I saw it. I'm gonna have to dig it out again, but I saw some other, one of these 3D printing websites did a little research and found a patent that looks like 5-axis or non-planar printing is covered under a patent because of the math that you have to do to calculate the corner of the nozzle. We're talking like that 0.2 millimeter nozzle, the shoulder on the nozzle that kind of irons the filament. You want to calculate how that's going to hit the part as you're printing in non-planar, and so they're able to patent the math or the logic behind doing that task. So that means that none of these open source like Cura or even like Simplify 3D, which isn't open source, but none of the slicer softwares are going to be able to integrate the necessary functionality to get true non-planar printing if it's covered under a patent. But nobody can patent a true 5-axis because you're always printing what's called normal to the surface, and you can't patent that. There's no math. There's no way to patent that. It's been too much overdone in CNC machines. So I think the patent is basically going to make this stopgap of non-planar unavailable. And so if I can make a 5-axis printer for I want to make one for under $500 and just put it out there, open source it, and then hopefully the other open source people can pick it up and run with it and actually get the software figured out. Yep, exactly. Auto drop. Yep, that's the future. I do really believe that. I mean, it's a lot of work. Oh my God, it's a lot of work getting 5-axis to work. But once we do, it'll make amazing parts. Yeah, of course, Rick. That's how I got started. In my graduate degrees, I was running OnsRed $300,000 5-axis CNC routers, and water jet machines and whatnot. And I kind of was staying away from this DIY 3D printer scene until actually I was getting my designs professionally printed at what is it, Shapeways, and then I had a design that I wanted to print myself, and so I started buying Chinese printers, and now we're here. Yeah, my one video that has 1 million views is a CNC video. It just, oh my god. I mean, I don't know if you've done CNC work. It takes so much more time than 3D printers do. So it's a risk. You might hit it big with a CNC video, but more than likely it's going to be another one of those like 2,000-3,000 views on that video. So 1 million views or 3,000, and you spend a week of your life either way. It's really painful when these videos fall flat. And I mean, you can go back and look at my video about the Game Boys. I spent like a week and a half on that video. I love it. One of my best edited, most informative videos, and it got like 2,000 views in the first week. It killed me. So much work for nothing. The diamond hot end. Have you had any experience? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look at my channels. Look up diamond hot end. The long and short of it is I was frustrated with it. You got to use exactly the same filament from the same manufacturer. Like you cannot, like you got to use all PLA from the same manufacturer, and you have to have geared extruders on all your filament paths because you need the extra oomph. And you're gonna have a purge block still, no matter what you do. But you can do some really cool things. I love the mixing at the nozzle and how you, like if you print a vase, if you spin it, as you spin it, you get different colors from different sides. Pretty cool stuff. I think I was using the knockoff from eBay. I think I would definitely go with the genuine version, and it's pretty darn cool. It is cool. You just have to make sure that you can really jam that filament through there because, and get your retraction settings just right. It's a finicky thing, but you'll get it. You'll get it. DYZE? What is that? Ah, crap. Don't look at that, guys. Great. Oh, geez. This is like more intense than oh yeah, that's a great idea. Why are they sticking that out down there though? Oh, I guess they're trying to heat. These wires should be up there at the top, and then you'd have a nice 5-axis wand or non-planar wand to get down in the nooks and crannies. This is some serious high-tech engineering here. Look at it. It's going to be hopper filled. Dude, look at that. Oh, so this is the heater element, and they're kind of preheating, and then this is the stepper motor running the screw, and you're filling it with pellets. Yeah, this is super high speed stuff. I mean, this thing alone probably costs $500, maybe $1,000 just for this hot end. Yeah, it's high speed. Well, my kid wants to come into the room. Give me a minute, guys. I'll be right back. All right, well, we're in to printing. We're off the raft, which is good. Um, yeah. This looks buttery smooth, guys. It looks amazing. So, and this is at 200x, twice the speed that they set up this that they set the file up to print at. Dax, you can't come in here, kiddo. My kiddo's trying to come in and vacuum my office. I got to go for a bike ride with him because I promised him I would do that. So you guys, I'm going to leave this printing. And I don't know. I guess I'll just leave it live. You guys can watch the whole thing print. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here as far as the normal etiquette for live streams goes. But yeah, I'm just going to leave this like you see it and maybe check back in with you guys when it's done printing here. You know, that's a bad idea. It's at 0% on the thing. So this is going to print all night long. Okay, I'll leave it printing for a while at least. So I'll be back in a couple hours. We usually go all the way down to the river. So it's going to be a while. So have fun. Keep it civil. Thank you, Michael. If Michael signs off, there's a couple of other people who are able to police in case somebody wants to misbehave, but let's just keep it civil. So here we go. That's the way it's going to be. When you hear my voice again, that's when I'll be back. See you guys in like 2 hours. You know what, guys? Actually, there's not enough filament on this little mini spool if this is going to take all night long. I'll bet I've got an hour worth of filament there, so we'll see. It does have a filament runout detector, so shouldn't have any problems, but there might be some drama while I'm not around. So keep your fingers crossed. All right, bye, guys. Okay, here. They can hear you now, so you can say hi to them.
Hi.
Say, my fingers are fine.
My fingers are fine.
What'd you come into the office for? Did you want to clean Dada's office?
Yeah.
Was the floor dirty?
Yeah.
And so you had a vacuum cleaner, right?
Yeah. What's this, Dada?
There we go. Back on. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, Bruno, this guy, he says, hey there, little man. He's talking to you. Say hi back.
Hi.
Nikolai says, I'm glad to hear that your fingers are okay. Say thank you, Nikolai. That's very nice.
Thank you, fingers, right? That's very nice.
And he says hi to you.
But you have to see him.
Yeah, you can't see them. They're text messaging us. They're writing words on the screen.
I want to get down because I'm getting itchy from being on it. Hold on.
Yeah, he couldn't say Nikolai. All right, guys, turn the mic off again. You ready, Carol? Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you all. So I'm out.